The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Hello, W4CY listeners. My name is Nitzan Mosri, and I am the Traveling Investor. This is where you're going to learn how to master your mind, body, and wallet. I'm an entrepreneur, coach, and investor, and I've spent my life studying and following the habits and mindsets of highly successful people. With that knowledge, I've created a lifestyle business where I live life on my own terms. I'm on a mission to share my knowledge to help you live life on your terms. I'm Nitzan Mosri, the Traveling Investor, and thank you for joining me as we dive into real, raw, authentic, and inspiring conversations with people from around the globe who are making an impact. What's happening, travelers? Nitzan Mosri, the Traveling Investor. How are you today? And we got a special guest with us. No, it's not Tom Zames, philosopher extraordinaire.
Who is it?
It's Master Yoda.
Oh, Master Yoda.
We got Master Yoda.
It's been a while since we've seen him.
It's been a while since we've hung out with Master Yoda. What's happening, my friends? So how's your week been? What's going on?
It's been good.
Yeah?
Good.
A little bit better than last week and the week before?
I had two problematic deals.
Okay.
One of them closed Monday or Tuesday, yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And the other one I'm working on. The other one's dicey, very dicey.
Dicey.
It's
dicey.
So it's in limbo.
I hate when shit hangs in limbo.
It's hanging in limbo. I mean, I think it's gonna be all right because I have a plan B.
Uh-huh.
Plan B's ugly though.
Is it?
Yeah.
How ugly?
Plan B.
How ugly?
Very ugly.
Oof.
You know.
You don't like ugly.
A lot more points, a lot higher rate.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is it one of mine?
No. No.
Awesome.
But, I've got sellers and deadlines and a lot of pressure coming from every which way, and So.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna work. It'll work out, but it's I can see the finish line. It's close, light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
But it's been stressful. It really has.
How does that affect you?
I'm not Good Times Tommy like I was last week. Huh?
How does that affect your personal life? What line of work are you in?
It mortgages. It affects my personal life a lot. It really does.
Why?
It's stress.
Does, right?
It's very stressful.
Mm-hmm.
You can't deter. The stress doesn't just go away.
No, it does not go away.
At 5 p.m.
Right?
That stays with you.
That's the difference between entrepreneurs and people who have a normal job is, and I gotta say that's one of the positive sides of having a job, of working for somebody else.
Yeah.
That you go home at 5 o'clock, man, you turn that shit off.
Yeah.
It's done.
Done.
Yeah. But when you're an entrepreneur, you take it home with you, right?
Yeah.
Because it's yours.
Yes.
It's your baby. You got to make sure all aspects of it are functioning properly, that you're moving in the right direction, that you're hitting your metrics, and why aren't you hitting your metrics, and all that crazy shit.
Yeah,
right?
all that crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've been doing is, like yesterday, it was so stressful. And I'm like, 5 o'clock came, and I was like, I'm going to the beach. So I brought a joint with me, went up there.
Very nice.
It's funny how all of a sudden everything all the worries disappeared real quick,
Suddenly all the worries
disappeared. And I did get a haircut.
And you did?
I got a haircut on Thursday.
Is your girlfriend tuning in? Is that why
I don't know. We don't know who this is saying this.
Uh-huh.
That could be a guy saying that.
That probably. When should you cut work off and have personal time? As an investor, it's almost impossible. I used to joke that my phone is my office and I can take it anywhere in the world, and we're not when I travel, and that's the beauty of it. But that's also the downside of it, is that you don't have
You don't have that leisure, that luxury of turning it off. You're the boss.
Right.
You're the boss, right?
Yeah.
You got to make sure if you don't move it forward, it ain't moving forward.
I guess and you can turn it off in little bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, hey,
oh yeah,
whatever. It's
you
9
go out
p.m.
tonight.
I'm done. Don't call me till tomorrow.
Right.
We'll talk about
right.
that.
Come the weekend, I'm done with the weekend.
Yeah.
Right. But still, it's always there.
Yeah.
It's always there.
You're thinking about it.
As much as you want to cut it out, as much as you want to not think about it, it's there because, you don't have kids. I have kids, but it doesn't make a difference. Kids or not, you're always, you're going out to dinner and you're thinking, you know what? Wait a minute. What if I do this and what if I do that? Because it's on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Right.
And now I forgot to send that email, and it's on your mind.
Right. Shana Tova to you as well. Happy New Year, Shana Tova.
New Year today?
It was last week. We had the Jewish New Year.
All right. Shana Tova.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have our New Year begins now, and next weekend is Yom Kippur. That's where we fast for the day and we ask for forgiveness and atonement,
All day?
All day.
You don't eat at all?
No eat, no drinking, nothing. You're not supposed to wear leather on your feet or any type of leather or animal skin.
Right.
It's really a day of atonement, right? That is the day. That is a day of no work. Yes, that is a day that nothing. We don't look at our phones. We don't talk to anybody. You're supposed to be retrospective.
So
retrospective the entire day and going back the entire year. Who you wronged, what you could have done better, apologizing, asking for forgiveness from yourself.
Okay.
A lot of people talk, you got to ask forgiveness from God. You got to ask forgiveness from, your coworkers and your family. And the most important person in my eyes that you got to ask forgiveness from is yourself first. Because if you're not healed, if you don't forgive yourself, how can you forgive others? How can you put out? If you yourself are walking around with guilt and with stress and with anxiety and with all this, forgive yourself, right? What's in the past is in the past. What's going to be is going to be. We don't know either one. We're in the moment. So it's a year of introspection. It's a day of introspection. And also it's one day of the year that you give your metabolism a rest as well, your digestive system, your stomach, all of your juices, you give them a rest. It's also a way of saying thank you to them for working so hard the entire year.
Excellent.
It's a huge thing. It's awesome.
Some people do that once a week.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I used to do it once a week and it was phenomenal.
Did you ever see the show Entourage?
Yes.
One of my favorite shows.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the episode where there was a deadline. They were trying to keep a movie together, and it was on Yom Kippur.
Right.
And they were in church, and they weren't supposed to have their phones. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And they had their backup pphones.
Right.
And they got in trouble. I remember that. That was good. So now I know all about the day of no work.
Right. The day of no work. Nothing. You don't drive and all that stuff. So yeah, that's awesome. But it's a good topic to talk about also now. Is being an entrepreneur, what it means, right? It can affect you in so many ways. I know that when I leave my office, I can't take that stuff with me, right? I can't bring my stress. I can't bring the anxiety. I can't bring any of that back home to my kids and my family.
Right.
Because then I'm not present. I'm not there at that moment. I'm still in the office. So I might as well stay in the office and do what I need to do and then go home when I'm feeling better so that I don't take it with me.
Get it out of
you know what I'm saying?
Because then you'll drag them down.
Because I'll drag them down. I'll be pissed. I'll be upset. That won't be fun. We'll probably get into an argument with my wife and my kids and this and that. And what do you need that for?
Something stupid.
Do you fast that day as well? I do a lot of fasting throughout the year. And on this specific day, sometimes I do it. Now that my daughters are getting older, I got back into it because I want them to experience it.
On Yom Kippur?
Yeah, on Yom Kippur.
So not everybody does. It's optional.
It's optional, right? It's a holiday. It depends on your observance.
Yeah.
Right.
I think in Entourage, they all went and had a big dinner that night.
Mm-hmm. And then you go and you break the fast, and there's certain things that you're supposed to break the fast as well.
Nice.
Certain things that you're supposed to eat and whatnot. But as a rule, for many years I didn't fast on Yom Kippur. I did it many times out of the year, days here and days there, that I felt that today, if I didn't feel it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But now the older I'm getting and I have kids, it's there. I do it. Can you tell us more about your holiday? Which holiday?
I don't know. I thought we were talking about Yom Kippur.
I thought so as well.
Or Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. Shana
Tova
means Happy New Year, right?
Shana Tova.
Shana is year. Tova is good. So it's like have a good year.
Okay.
So what we were talking about is Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement. Okay, that's the day where you ask forgiveness, right? You're supposed to fast. You're supposed to bring everything. It's a day of meditation, so to speak, right? So it comes the day after the New Year, right? The week after the New Year. And we go into a meditation, a frame of mind where we're not harming any animals that day, right? Because people that eat animals, we're not eating animal. We're not wearing any animal flesh. You're supposed to go and you're supposed to spend the day in the synagogue, in the temple, praying and asking for forgiveness. Is this a Jewish holiday? Can anyone partake? It's a Jewish holiday and anyone can partake. It doesn't make a difference if you're not Jewish or not. If you want to fast on this particular day and you want to feel the energy, right? You're always welcome to go to a synagogue and do it. You're always welcome to do it at home, right? It doesn't matter if you're Jewish or not, right? And yes, you get to leave work, at all, right? If possible. But it's a day of meditation. It's a day where you fast. There's no animal killing. You don't drive. You don't pollute the planet. You don't do anything. But
are you allowed to sit on a leather couch?
If that's what you have at home, yes. Right. But the whole point is, when you're in the synagogue and you look down, that there shouldn't be the animal.
Gotcha.
It should be a very somber, very peaceful thing. And you go out and you actually ask for forgiveness. You call your friends, your family, your parents, your brothers, sisters.
Oh, you do that? You get on the horn and start
say,
calling?
hey, you know what? If I've done bad by you, if I've sinned by you, if I've hurt you, if whatnot, please, today is the day I'm asking, forgiveness. And you can get into a deep conversation with someone.
Do people say stuff like, you know what?
Yeah, dude, you know what? There was this thing that blah, 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 and you can get into it, right?
Interesting.
You can.
Get into it in a good way or about
whatever it is, right? it surfaces, right? A lot of people are forgiveness, right? Because it's a day of forgiving.
Sure.
So you want to forgive.
Right.
You don't want to be the asshole.
Yeah.
Like, well, you know what? Screw you. You fucked me. I'm going to fuck you and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You want to forgive. You want to be that openness, right? That energy, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we do during that day. And we got a lot of questions here.
I like the premise of that.
Yes. So let's see, is this a Jewish thing or can anyone partake? It's a Jewish thing. Anyone can partake, as we saw. Are there things you cannot eat on a regular basis? In Judaism, there's kosher and non-kosher food, right? You eat what's kosher and then you eat what's not kosher. And then there's a whole list in the Bible that tells you what is kosher and whatnot. I, per se, don't eat kosher because I believe that these kosher laws, a lot of them were put in place because they didn't have soap and they didn't have hot running water and they didn't have dishwashers today and they didn't have certain things of that nature. However, there is a lot of things that you're allowed or you're not allowed to eat that make sense.
Like what?
Okay. Like, for example, we don't eat pork, right? And there's a couple of reasons why we don't eat pork, right? Or pig, I should say. One is pig is a very intelligent animal. It understands its own existence, meaning if you put it in a mirror, it understands that it's looking at itself.
Okay.
Right? There are several animals that understand that have that level. So that's one thing.
Okay.
Another thing is that a pig is actually a very filthy animal. It will eat anything. I've been to India. I've been in these guest houses. I've seen pigs. And I mean, they literally will eat the crap that comes out of your ass as soon as it comes out. Okay. It's disgusting.
Wow.
Now, we all know
like a pig. That's where that came from.
And we all, and they eat and they eat and they eat and they don't just, and they don't, if they're running wild and there's food and there's crap, they will just eat. That's why they get fat. That's why they get big. They'll just eat and eat. But there's also that saying, you are what you eat. And back then, the pig, if you kill it and you let it sit, because of what it has in it, because of all that, maggots, and it's very susceptible to that kind of stuff. So it wasn't healthy to eat that animal, right? Now today, you cook it, there's all kinds of stuff, right? But still, certain things we don't eat. So there's a whole list of what you can and cannot eat, right? Let's see what else we got here. How do you say it? How would you say it is to cross over from a different religion to the practice of Judaism? Well, if you all look at the core of every religion, I think every religion in its core has the same basis because it comes from the same source. It comes from the universe, energy, existence, God, the inner soul, the inner being, whatever you want to call it, right? So it all comes from the same place of, and we all know that golden rule, right?
Right.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? Live that way. And I think every religion stems from that. Then there's interpretations of what does that really mean? Well, what is it about this? And what about that? And what about this? So the crossover is fine. If you're thinking that you're not from the Jewish faith and you want to partake in this type of ceremony and religious experience or personal experience, not even religious, more of a spiritual experience, you don't have to convert. You don't have to do anything. You can just do it.
You just do it.
You just do it.
You don't have to make it formal.
You don't have to make it formal. You're just doing it, right? Yeah. The energies, the universe, the existence, yourself, you'll know from it, and you'll experience it, and you'll benefit from it. Yeah. And the people around you will benefit from it because of the vibes and the energy that you've put out there, right? So I hope that answers that question. Right? What do you think?
I think you're right. I think all the religions are, if you break them all down, they're all based on the same premise, and then things just kind of got bastardized from there by men. Mm-hmm. And but the basic tenets are there.
Right. Yep. Yeah. They're asking also here. I heard something about not being able to mix milk with meat. Can you tell us about that? Sure. So again, back in the day, there was a lot of knowledge, right? And a lot of knowledge came from being so connected to nature and oneself and all that we are finding a lot of what was said by the sages and the prophets and the wise people thousands of years ago. Science is now showing that it's right, that it was true, that it's being proven by science. So in Judaism, it's not good or it's not allowed to mix meat with milk. It says, you should not put the baby and the mother together, and the mother's milk with the baby and so forth. So if you look today in scientific matters, right, the reason why you shouldn't do that is first of all, you shouldn't mix carbs and proteins, right? Cheese is a protein, dairy is a protein, is a carb. It has proteins in it, right? It has a lot of carbs in it. When you put meat and milk in your stomach together, one of them or everything starts to ferment. And when it ferments, it has poor digestion. It kills off the bacteria in your stomach, and it's just not healthy. Okay.
And that's why they say fruit. You should eat fruit by itself.
Exactly. Because of high glucose. Now, milk has lactose, which is dairy sugar.
Okay.
So if you have that with protein as well, that sugar will start to ferment. You get heartburn, you get gas, you get bloated, you get this poor digestion, you get poor cell communication because the cells need to communicate together. And when they don't communicate together, they start forming or they start being created in a deformed way. Hence, you get diseases and you get all these different illnesses and whatnot.
Yeah. Disease.
Right. Disease. Your body goes out of ease, out of harmony, out of its homeostasis, and it goes into dis-ease. Right.
If I eat too much chewing gum, I get cramps from all that crap that they put in there.
Sure. Now, back in the day, thousands of years ago, they didn't want you to mix meat and milk because, again, fermentation went on, right? What would they eat on? They would eat on stone. They would eat on wood, right? And there was no cleansing. There was no lacquer that you could lacquer. So the meat, the blood of the animal would go into the dish, would sink into the pores of the wood or of the stone that they were eating. Then you would put the dairy on top of that, and then that would sink in, and then you would get sick from that. Okay. So that was a thing. And also they didn't want the humanity of it. The milk from the mother, right, is the dairy. And then the meat can be from the child. They didn't want the child and the mother mixed together in a moral sense and so many things of that. Now, obviously, I'm not doing it incredible justice, because if you go into the Zohar, the Talmud, the books of Judaism, the mysticism and the actual, it really goes deep into it and talks about it. And thanks for asking about it. It's pretty amazing that people are interested here. And we want to say hi to our friends on Facebook. Hi, how's it going? And guess what? So we will be pulling cards. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to listen to some of our sponsors. We're going to say thank you to them for letting us be here right now. And if you want to become a sponsor on the show, just shoot us a message, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you about that. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with some cards.
You're listening to The Traveling Investor on W4CY Radio. Please take a moment to listen to the sponsors who have a secret message just for you. Don't leave. The best is yet to come. The Traveling Investor will be right back.
I want to be rich. Oh, I want to be rich. Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you search with the Real Yellow Pages, you get more than a contractor. You get a whole new curb appeal. It's not just getting directions to a dry cleaner with YP.com. It's rescuing an old favorite from the back of the closet. And it's more than finding a locksmith with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the Real Yellow Pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
Fiesta Pet Deli, South Florida's original and only fresh food deli for pets. We carry a full line of products like Bravo, Nature's Variety, and BioComplete. We have FDA-approved meals that are prepared daily. Stop by our brand new store located at Sample Road and the Turnpike in the Festival Flea Market in Pompano, Florida, or call 954-971-2500. Check us out online at www.realfoodforpets.com. If your pet's overweight, suffers from skin problems, or you suspect food allergies, we have the solution. We also carry a large variety of pet strollers, bedding, apparel, collars, leashes, natural chews, and grooming supplies. Veterinarian owned and operated, Fiesta Pet Deli's mission is to help every pet owner have the healthiest pet they possibly can. Call us today for local deliveries or shipping throughout the United States. Call Fiesta Pet Deli today at 954-971-2500. That's 954-971-2500.
Hey, this is Rebel Medler. Join me for In Your Face on W4CY.com, Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
You are now tuned into W4CY Radio, entertainment at your fingertips.
I want to be rich. Oh, I want to be rich.
Attention listeners, we are preparing once again for takeoff, so please return your seats as W4CY Radio welcomes back your real estate guru, the Traveling Investor, Nitzan Mosery.
This is Nitzan Mosery, the Traveling Investor. I'm here with my boy, Tom Zames, philosopher extraordinaire, and our very special guest, Master Yoda. You guys see him over there on Facebook? There he is, Master Yoda. Peter, it's nice to say hi. Spirit says, don't graze your animals over septic fields. There you go. All right. Don't graze them over septic fields. Photos. Yes. Awesome photos. Doing great. Awesome. So what's happening, guys? Welcome back. Do me a favor, everybody. Facebook. W4CY listeners, do me a favor. Go to YouTube. Go to Traveling Investor. Like, subscribe, comment. I want to see all of you being new subscribers to my YouTube channel, because this is the only way we're going to be able to get the word out and help a billion people. Help a billion people achieve success and live life on their terms.
How many are you up to now?
105, 6 and whatnot.
There you go.
You know? So we
remember when we were at 97.
Right? Remember?
Huh.
I haven't put out new videos yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to start doing it again. What about a non-smelling compost toilet? You down with that? Yeah, I'm down with a non-smelling compost toilet. I love non-smelling compost toilets. You know what I don't like? smelly compost toilets. That's what I don't like.
Smelly toilets.
Smelly toilets. So
Period.
So how about we pull a card for the show?
Let's do a card.
Right? And we'll get that vibe, and we'll see if anybody wants to come and have us pull a card for them. So why don't you just give us I'm right now, what I'm doing is I'm spreading the cards out for my boy, Philosopher Extraordinaire here, so he can come and pull a card out for us. Okay. So are you a fan of Star Wars? I am a fan of Star Wars. Absolutely. What gave it away? What gave it away? My wife did this for me. All right. Isn't that awesome? And you know why Master Yoda and not Luke Skywalker or Obi-Wan or anything of that? Because of the things that Yoda used to say. That's right. What was the one thing that we all know that he used to tell Luke?
Don't
try. Or do not.
Do or do not.
Do or do not. There is no try.
There is no
right?
try.
So that's why I like him. Do it or don't do it. What'd you pick? Ooh, Beyond Illusion. Look at that. Look at that. There we go. Check it out. Look at this beautiful card that Tom just pulled out.
I don't think I've seen that one yet. It's a new one.
This is new. It says Beyond Illusion. What is it telling you?
Well, I see a man's face with
I'm doing Master Yoda.
Like a butterfly over him.
Uh-huh.
So maybe we got third eye here.
Yeah. These cards, I've owned them since 1997.
Beyond Illusion.
That's 23 years. These cards have been feeding me and showing me and coming to my face. So yeah, they're a little old, man. Yeah. They're about half of my age. I'm 50. So I've had these half of my life.
So maybe this is a part man, part butterfly. Maybe I don't know.
So you have the Buddha, the young Buddha.
Oh, that's a Buddha.
With the third eye.
Okay.
Yes, this is a general reading for the show right now that we're giving out. Okay. So we have the picture here, right? You have the young Buddha behind the butterfly, right? So we have to, and what is the card showing us? Beyond illusion, right? We all see things. We all have things in our minds. We all see what we think we're seeing, right? But we have to go beyond that illusion, beyond what we think is reality here, right? We all think this is reality. What do successful entrepreneurs say, right? Your thoughts or things, right? Whatever your mind can conceive, you can perceive, right? It's all about the mind. It's all about breaking away from that illusion of where I am today is where I need is where I have to stay. Right? This illusion of what the world is, right? So once you can break out of that, once you can burst from that cocoon and become the butterfly, right?
Okay.
Because think about it, the worm, right? The butterfly worm, right? It walks around thinking it's a worm.
Right.
There's nothing more, right?
Do you think the worm doesn't know?
The worm has no idea.
Okay.
The worm has no idea. I don't think the worm knows.
Okay.
Right? The worm is walking around, and then it has this urge, this nudge, this thing, something in it that says, go hang from that tree right now. And then it does, and it's this urge, right? So it lives in this illusion that all I am is a worm. But there's something deeper, right? It's connected to nature. It's connected to a higher power. And that higher power, that inner, that goes inside is drawing the caterpillar, not a worm, caterpillar to a certain place. And then once it's there, it starts cocooning, and then it breaks out. So it breaks out of that illusion of all I can be is a caterpillar. So break out of the illusion. So today our focus is breaking out of the illusion of who we are, who we were told we are, and breaking out into becoming a butterfly.
That's great.
Right?
That's great.
Beyond illusion. Go beyond the illusion. They also say that the definition of a shaman is someone who can see without his eyes in the dark.
Okay.
We don't need to see, right? So what we see with our eyes can be an illusion. The life that we're living, the friends that we have, the people that are around us. And if we want more, we have to break out of that. We have to go beyond that illusion. We have to break out. So that's where we were today for that.
And more believing what we don't see.
That's right. We have someone here that says, what? This card seems to be saying to me to look past what you think you see. That's exactly what we were saying. That's exactly what we were saying. Hey, is this Dr. Konis over here? Alan 621? What's happening, Doc?
Where do you see that?
Right there, Alan 621. So is that you, Dr. K? All right. The highest is the mind, what we perceive beyond the senses. Yes. You know, we have all of our senses, and when we're able to connect to all of them, right, we become like this beacon.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. You know. Awesome, Dr. K. You're seeing us with Master Yoda here. That's fantastic.
It's nice to see a name over there.
Right? It's finally nice to see a name.
We used to see names.
Mm-hmm. It seems everyone has to feel the way they need to feel about the card and how it relates to them. Absolutely. Yes. That's why Tom had one reading. That's why I have another reading. That's why everybody here on Facebook who's going to see it now live, who's going to look at it later as a podcast, and do me a favor also, when we're done, go to iHeartRadio, go to the podcast section, click on the podcast, share them, listen to the old podcasts as well. Absolutely.
Got a sponsor.
You got a sponsor. Great. We'll talk offline. Thank you so much for being a sponsor. I appreciate that. And we'll talk and we'll get there. So yeah, everybody, Tom has his life experiences and where he came from, and he grew up in a certain family that treated him a certain way. I grew up with my worldviews, my experiences, and a family that treated me a certain way. Everybody here did. So you pick and you see from your experiences, from your life, and the way it relates to you. That's why there's no right or wrong answer with these cards, and these cards won't tell you the future. They'll show you more of what's already inside you and just bring it to life and kind of shake you up a little bit, right? And sometimes, when you have difficulty reading a card, when you're not connecting with the card, that's when you should sit on that card and kind of mull it over. I don't want to say meditate on it, right? Want to mull it over, want to think about it, want to contemplate it. Why am I having a difficulty connecting with it? What is it trying to tell me? What am I not seeing? What is it, where am I going with that?
Yep.
What we got here?
I'm about to start a new job. Can you pull a card to see what it tells me about the situation?
All right. Who do you want to pull?
What are you trying to figure out? Just in general, or anything specific about the job?
Right. The more specific you can get with these questions, the better the cards will be, because then you can be directed in a certain way so that things can come up. So while we're waiting for an answer, so either one can pull. Oh, either one can pull. All right. So we'll let Tom pull. All right. Tom is a puller. Here we go. All right. So we're laying out the cards after I shuffle them.
Job.
We got my energy, we got his energy, and we got your energy out there from
looking for some guidance regarding
guidance.
A new job.
Right. Here we go. Use the force, my brother. Use the force. Master Yoda is looking. Master Yoda is with us. I just want to see what the card says about the new job. So we won't give you our interpretation. We'll just pull out the card and show it to you. Okay. So, hey, Alish. What's happening? Alicia and I went to high school together. What's going on, Alicia? So today's Wednesday. It's hump day. Happy hump day, right? RBG passed away, Ruth Ginsburg, right? A lot of people were for her, against her. She did some great things, all that good stuff, right? And next week on the show, I've got a guy named Barry who is or was a professional wrestler on WWE. He became a professional wrestler. Then he went from that to, I think, Cirque du Soleil, doing one of those shows and whatnot. And now he's a real estate investor buying multifamily, doing deals. So he's going to be on the show, I think, next week. And we're going to talk about what it takes, to be a world-class athlete like that, right? The mindset that you need, especially in an industry like WWE, where you have so many people saying, oh, it's fake, it's bullshit, blah, 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 blah. It's all written out. It's all this.
Yeah.
What is it like for him to be there? And then that mind shift to go into.
It's still physical.
It's very physical. You see these people flipping and
there's things happening.
That's
real.
Max athleticism.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
That you can't bar, and the muscles, the agility, right? The timing, right? It's all timing.
And then the Cirque du Soleil. That's quite a eclectic combination.
Yep.
What's his wrestling name?
Tune in next week and you'll find out. 5 p.m. Eastern.
That's dirty.
Right here.
That is dirty.
Right here, and you'll find out what his wrestling name is.
All right.
Dun-dun-dun. So, my man, with the job, the situation.
Thunderbolt.
This is it.
Thunderbolt.
Pull it closer so you can see the detail of the card, right? You see the chakras. They're aligned, right? They're on fire. There's lightning bolts. All right. Do you want to tell us what you see about this card and what it feels for you?
No, he wants.
You want us to give. Okay, so Tom, you were looking at this for a while. Take it. What is it? What are you feeling? What do you feel? It's all about the feel. It's all about the energy.
I'm seeing it's a powerful energy, thunderbolt, and there's things happening. There's
things happening.
There's
always things happening.
Maybe some shakeup.
Oh, ooh.
There's
I like it. Go on that.
There's some fire in the root chakra, the sacral chakra, maybe the heart, throat. Probably some stuff up here. I see two guys flying around. I don't know if they're somersaulting or if they're
falling. They're imagine if it was like a burning building and they're jumping out.
They're jumping out.
They're leaving.
They're escaping.
Yes.
Escaping.
Yes.
And then this shadowy figure looks like it's possibly meditating.
Right. So now that you've got the individual pieces of the card, right?
Okay.
What is it kind of telling you? Can you put it all together? Can you kind of make it,
calmness during chaos.
Calmness during chaos.
Keeping your internal peace.
Well, we got here. It says the card is making me feel like this is a good job choice in my life right now.
Boom. There you go.
That's all that matters right now.
That's all that matters. We should just keep our mouth shut.
Right. What's happening, Mike? Yes. So this is a good card. So yes. So obviously you have this person sitting. Now this person is symbolic of you.
Okay.
Right. Because you're pulling the card. So you're in a state of meditation, a state of calm. Right. And then you get the jolt, right? The thunderbolt, the lightning, the awakening, the enlightenment. And when you're enlightened, when this enlightenment happens, your chakras wake up. They're on fire, so to speak, right? And when that happens and you start vibrating, you start moving at a different level, right? Then what happens is all that negativity and all that bullshit starts falling off from you. The old you starts tearing away. So I'm getting a good vibe for the job as well. It means that you're, first of all, go with it being whole, right? Be whole, be you, right? But be you in the awakened sense that this is something new. It's a new adventure. It's a new place, and run with it, right? It's going to be a good bolt for you, a good jolt. Good things are going to come. Fantastic. Good luck with that job. Let us know how it goes. Come back to us and let us know, because we're here reading these cards. We're getting vibes from people. We're talking about mindset. We're talking about how people can move forward in an uncertain time, how to master your mind, how to master your body, your wallet, all these things, right? So let's make sure. So let us know. Come back to us and let us know, right? Maybe it means it's good for that. Yeah, we got that.
We got Just Muscles over here.
Oh, Just Muscle. Stay grounded,
Ooh.
although the air is full of energy. Yes, exactly. Stay grounded, especially when you're moving into something new, into a new adventure, into a new place, right? Something new, a new relationship, or you're moving out of a relationship into something new. Stay grounded, stay calm. That's why the meditative body, right? And the chakras. There's going to be a lot of movement. There's going to be a lot of fire, a lot of energy. Stay calm. Definitely a great card. That's awesome. Thanks for tuning in, Just Muscles. Where are you tuning in from? Let us know where you guys are listening in from. We'd love to know. You know, you guys make it all worthwhile to be here and to share with you guys. So we were talking about the wrestler. We're talking about RBG, right? Ruth. Yeah. Anybody got any thoughts on Ruth? What's your thoughts on her, man? I know you've got thoughts.
I mean,
just keep it clean because we don't know.
I don't.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go there right now. He doesn't want to go there right now. But I got some good news. So this week we finally closed. Oh, Portland, Oregon. Hey, Just Muscles, awesome, way to go. We love it. Thank you for being on the show. It's awesome. And what do you do that you titled yourself Just Muscles? We'd love to know about that. But this week, I closed on a 48-unit apartment complex in South Carolina. It was awesome. It was a long berth.
Yeah.
But we finally got it. We put the property under contract pre-COVID.
Okay.
Had it extended during COVID.
Yeah.
Had to shift from two lenders.
Okay.
One lender said no. We went to another lender that I work with. They said yes, and then they said no.
Okay. Why'd they say no?
Because the property, when we put it under contract, the property wasn't stabilized. It was about 80-something% occupied.
Okay.
And the reason why is because the current management company, it would take it 2 weeks to turn a unit, not renovate, just clean, paint the walls, clean the carpets, and next 2 weeks, where it should take you about 3 days maximum to turn a unit.
Okay.
So it was very slow for them. Okay. It was very, very slow. Seems like a company name, maybe. Okay.
Just Muscles.
Just Muscles. Very nice. Yep.
Personal trainer.
Yeah, personal trainer. Absolutely. So when we went with Freddie Mac, they said yes. Okay. All you got to do is bring it up to stabilization, and we'll play. Mm-hmm. We brought it up to stabilization. And then Freddie said, nope, you don't have enough seasoning. We're not doing it. We're scared. Too many properties going into forbearance.
The reserves.
We're not doing it.
What they want?
No, they want. We were able to give them the reserves, everything.
Yeah.
They just didn't have the property. Didn't have seasoning for stability. Long enough, right? Best to be replaced ASAP by Trump's pick. Absolutely, Peter. Okay. He's talking about Ruth. So they went. Then we went to another lender that I work with for a bridge loan.
Okay.
They said yes. Then they said no. Who knows why? Okay. They were scared because of COVID and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Then I took it to my contact and we went to a Fannie loan. Mm-hmm. Well, he works with Arbor. So there was, it was like direct to Fannie. Yeah. And then, and yes, COVID did affect it. But no, actually, so we just closed on it. There's 2 units that are vacant right now out of 48 units. One is rent ready and we're going to lease it any day. And the other one, we're going to renovate it, put in new flooring, cabinets, and all that stuff. And we're going to raise it $100. We're going to take it from $700 to $800. Our pro forma numbers were $750.
Okay.
So that's always a good thing.
Excellent.
Right? So that was a good thing. So, yeah. So we finally got it closed.
Yeah.
We finally got it closed.
95% occupancy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Just Muscles says that she's a virtual personal trainer. So, yeah.
Okay.
Specializing in injury rehab. Congrats on your South Carolina property. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And you know what was awesome? Actually, COVID did not affect the employment in the area because a lot of the areas, a little bit, because the major employer over there is the Air Force Base, the military base. So there was that. We don't have a big influx of military people, right? What's nice is that there's military, there's retail, there's manufacturing, there's a lot of service-oriented jobs. So it didn't affect the area that much, even though it's a tertiary market.
Okay.
Right? And that's why we like it. It was still running strong during COVID. And remember, we were stabilizing the property during COVID.
Yeah.
And people are paying, right? It's not that we just put heads in beds and they stop paying.
Yeah.
So people are paying. So it's a really good market. It's really awesome. And we're very, very happy with that. Very happy with that. So yeah, it was really good. Really, really good. Who's this? Ayal and Dina Frist. Hello, Ayal and Dina. Cool, guys. So so the property. So we close on the property.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Finally.
Yeah.
We got a good management company
it's
out
a weight
there.
off your back, right?
Weight off my back.
Yep.
But I got to tell you, you know what's awesome?
Huh.
It's the last 5 properties that I closed, I did it without any of my own money.
Wow.
So my return is infinite.
Infinite.
Because I don't have any skin in the game, but I'm making money off of it.
Yeah.
And this is what I teach people
Nothing
to
better
do.
than that, right?
Nothing better than that.
Right.
Nothing better than that. I show people how they can be passive investors, and I show people how they can be, syndicators like me, and then work with you, work with other people, pull the money. Our money came from South America.
Yeah. South
right?
America?
From South America. It came here. The property came to me from someplace else. And all I did was bring my expertise and my knowledge of putting the team together, making sure that everything is done properly, doing all that.
Yeah.
And that was it. Bada bing, bada boom.
Boom.
And we're done. We got another 64 units under contract, and
Nice.
and we're moving forward. So it's pretty awesome.
Good stuff.
Pretty awesome, man. Yeah. So we got 3 minutes left. Does anybody want us to pull their card? Wow, 3 minutes, man. We've been talking for a long time.
I know.
Holy cow. Anybody else want us to pull a card for you?
Maybe Just Muscles wants a card.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Just Muscles, how did you get into the virtual personal training space? That'd be good, especially in the injury rehab, right? There's got to be a story there. Got to be a story. Hey, Neil, you want a card? Come on, Neil. I know you want a card. Peter was from California, decided to get out, and he moved to Texas.
Ooh.
And he's loving Texas now. He's loving Texas.
Like he fleed recently?
Yeah, very recently. Mm-hmm. Good vibes. Awesome, my friends. Yeah, so do us a favor, all right? Before we say goodbye, go to YouTube, go to the Traveling Investor YouTube channel, subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff. What are they saying?
Can the cards tell us something that we could look forward to for tomorrow?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's put that out there. All right. Somebody wants for tomorrow. But tomorrow is a new day. Things happen. Tomorrow hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
See? It's hard to pull cards for future because the future doesn't exist. Now, I just want to say this one thing. If you're living with guilt and stress and anxiety, you're probably living in the past, right? If you're living with worry and more, you're living in the future, right? If you're present, and that's why they call it the present. It's a gift. You're here and now. You don't focus on anything else but now, but the moment, right? So it's kind of hard, but we can pull a card for the rest of the day for you. Okay, we got less than a minute. Go for it, my friend. Feel the force. Use the force. Hoorah! As the doors were closing.
Ooh.
Pull a card. Yes.
Fighting.
Here, let's show these guys.
We've had that card a few times now.
Yes.
Fighting.
Here we go. Fighting. But what do you see in this card? Quickly.
All right, I'm trying to remember. The rusty bolts, right?
The rusty bolts.
This guy's been fighting. He's tired of fighting.
Mm-hmm. In
the
struggle.
clouds. Those are the thoughts, passing thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts come and go.
Right.
Nothing's permanent.
So if there's an inner battle happening within you, don't worry about it. Don't get attached to it. Don't freak out over it. Know that this too shall pass. You just have to give it time. Look at it as if you're looking at us right now in a screen or a movie. You're sitting back, your thoughts and your distress is up there, and you're just watching it like a movie, not growing attached to it, not adding more emotional stress to the situation, right? Yeah. Is it to be taken literal, fighting, or in another way? In another way, or literal? How do you see it, right? Great. That means the wife found out about the charge on the credit card. All right, guys. Peter, Neil, all you guys out there in Facebook world, thank you so much for being here. You guys on W4CY, our listeners, travelers, be well. Thank you so much. And always remember, trust in the universe, and the universe will always take care of you. Until next week, I'm Nitzan Mosry. This is Tom Zames. We will see you somewhere on Spaceship Earth. Be well.
Wow, what a great show. Are you excited to learn the untold secrets of how to get wealthy? Then tune in next Thursday and every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern right here on W4CY Radio. You too can learn how to become a traveling investor. If you missed any part of this episode or want to hear it again, go to the Traveling Investor Podcast on iHeartRadio. You can listen to all past episodes on demand 24/7. Next week's episode will take us somewhere new and exciting, so don't miss it. Thank you for listening.